Assalamu alaikum dear class and welcome back. Welcome back everyone. In part 1 we talked about data validation and editing, the steps that make sure that your data is clean and accurate. Now we will move to the next steps, which is coding, data entry and dealing with the missing data. These steps are basically the backbone of your research analysis. If they are done properly, your results will be trustworthy and meaningful for sure. First of all, what is coding? Now imagine you have hundreds of completed questionnaires, each with open-ended and close-ended questions. Before you can analyze them on a computer, you need to convert the responses into numerical or symbolic form. That process is called coding. In simple words, coding is assigning numbers to different responses so that the data can be easily entered into the statistical software like SPSS, MS Excel or any other tool. Let's take a very simple example to understand a whole scenario. Suppose you are asked the question, what is your gender? You might code it as 1 for male and second for female and 3 will be coded for other option. Similarly, for the question like which brand do you prefer? The coding assigned could be like 1 to Pepsi, 2 to Coke and third to Sprite. These numbers don't have mathematical meaning. They are just labels and the coding help us make data ready for the analysis by the computers and using different techniques. Now we will discuss the types of coding. There are mainly two types. Number first, pre-coding, data before doing the data collection. For example, in multiple choice question, you already assign code to each option on the questionnaire. This makes it easier for the interviewers to record the responses quickly. And the second stage will be post-coding, done after the data collection, especially for the open-ended question where the people give their answers. For example, if the respondents write their favorite advertising medium like TV, radio or social media, you first need to read all the answers, group them into categories and then assigning them codes. Coding may sound boring, but it is actually quite interesting once you see how raw answers transform into the clean and structured dataset ready for the analysis. Then comes the stage of data entry. After the coding comes after data entry, which means transferring the coded data into the computer software. Earlier, the researchers entered the data manually into Excel or SPSS. Today, we have online survey tools like Google Forms, Quadratics or SurveyMonkey, which automatically record and export the coded data, saving a lot of time. However, accuracy is still a bit crucial here. Even a single wrong entry like entering 12 instead of 21 can completely change the result and entire meaning of your research. So, the researchers usually do double entry where two people enter the same data separately and then compare the results to find any mismatches in our dataset. Therefore, there are also data entry validation checks that alert you if something looks odd, like an impossible age or missing response. An example of data entry could be like, let's say you have a questionnaire with 5 questions. First of all, gender, you will code 1 for male and 2 for female. Then you will be asking the age. Your favorite drink may be 1 for Pepsi, 2 for Sprite and third for Coke. You may ask satisfaction level on scale between 1 to 5. Will you recommend this brand? 1 for yes and 2 for no. You entered those coded responses row by row for each respondent in a spreadsheet. Now, Instead of 300 messy papers, you will have a neat data set ready to analyze, maybe to calculate the averages, percentages, or maybe the correlations. Now I will tell you how to deal with the missing data. Now comes one of the most common problems in research, which is missing data. Sometimes the respondents skip this question or refuse to answer or accidentally leave it blank. Missing data can be frustrating, but it's quite normal. What matters is how you handle it. There are actually several ways to deal with missing data depending upon how serious the issue is. First of all, you will ignore the case like list-wise deletion. If only a few responses are missing, you can remove those cases from the analysis. For example, if 2 out of 200 respondents skip one question, you can drop the whole questionnaire. But this method should be used carefully. Too much deletion can significantly reduce your sample size. Second is pairwise deletion. Instead of removing the whole respondent, you can use their available data for the question they didn't answer. This keeps the data analysis more efficient. Third is substitution or imputation. You can replace the missing value with estimated one, like the average of other respondents or the most common answer. For example, if the average age of respondent is 25, you can replace the missing age value with 25. However, you must clearly mention in your report to maintain the transparency during research. Then is predictive estimation. Sometimes the advanced software uses regression models or machine learning to predict the missing values. This is more accurate, but for sure it will require some kind of technical skills. So we need to discuss how to prevent the missing data. It's better to prevent the missing data rather than fixing it later. You can do this by designing a clear and simple questionnaire, giving proper instructions to the respondents, using the software that requires all the questions to be answered before the submission. Moreover, we can train our interviewers to double check the responses on the spot. Remember, good preparation saves a lot of time and effort rather than cleaning it later. Then the final step could be clean dataset ready for the analysis. Once you have validated, edited, coded and entered the data and handled the missing values, your dataset is finally ready for the analysis. Now you can apply statistical tools to find the patterns, relationships and insights that support your marketing decisions. It's like finally turning the raw ingredients into delicious and well-cooked meal. Data preparation may not seem glamorous, but it's what separates the professional research from the guesswork. Now I'll be discussing some key takeaways. Let's quickly recap what we have learned in both the parts of today's lecture, which is regarding data preparation and cleaning. Data preparation and cleaning ensures that your raw data becomes useful and trustworthy. However, the validation checks whether the data was collected properly or not. On the other hand, the editing corrects the error and omissions, and the coding converts the responses into numerical form for the analysis. Data entry transfers the coded information into the computer software. And lastly, we discussed about dealing with the missing data, which ensures that no important information is lost. Each of these steps makes your data cleaner, stronger and ready to reveal the real insights into marketing research. Before we end, I want to remember you one thing. The quality of your research depends not only on how you collected the data, but on how you prepare it. Even the best questionnaire can give you poor results if the data isn't properly cleaned and coded. So, treat data preparation as the heart of research process. Thank you so very much for listening, and I hope this lecture made the topic clear and practical for you. In our next session, we will move ahead to data analysis and interpretation, where you will finally bring this clean data to life through numbers and figures and your insights. Till then, take good care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.